everybody, Eric Steckel here. Just want to remind you to check out my buddies Dave and Ty on the NEZ SEZ show, Thursdays at 8 p.m., right on Dave's YouTube channel. I was a guest on the show a couple months back. We had a great time. So if you're a guitar player, you love guitar-related content, check out the show. You won't regret it. See you guys later.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to my birthday week. You're tuned in to NEZ SEZ, a place where musicians can get together and inspire each other to play more guitar and more music. We're going to have an amazing show tonight. We're going to talk about some cool stuff that I'll have Ty explain. But in the meantime, hello, Ben, and hello, Ty. How are you? Some cool stuff.
I'm good. Good to see you, Dave. Good to see you, Ben. Happy Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's good to be with you guys. And our very special guest, Mr. Jay Hannon, has returned. Happy to have you back, Jay. I mean, you came back in spite of last time. And
I know. Dave had to really just pin me down and be like, "You know, come on."
Yeah.
All right.
And always, we're always honored to have the great Larry Mitchell with us. Hey, Larry.
Hey guys. Sorry, I messed up your intro.
No, that's great. That's so cool.
What's going on?
Oh man, what a cool week. Yeah, well, it started off a little shaky because I had my second COVID shot on Saturday and I was laying on my back for 3 days. Didn't even get paid for it. Horrible. But I was on my back, sick for 3 days, and I just started feeling better yesterday.
I'm right there with you. I was when I got my second shot. I was it was 102 fever. I couldn't read, couldn't see anything, couldn't do anything.
It's terrible.
And, yeah, right there. A couple of days, 3 days down, and then the fourth day, I was happy to just be able to walk.
Oh yeah. So real quick, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. Ben.
Wait. Hey Ben.
Larry, Jay, Ty, Dave.
Well, hello.
Thanks for having me back. You know, I passed the test again last week. Awesome.
Goodness.
You know, yeah, I've discovered it's all a ruse at this point. I don't know what any of the stuff does or anything, but hey, you know, I can fake it well. I'm just happy to be here. We're going to talk some Ibanez guitars tonight. We're going to talk a little bit Jay. We're going to talk about some Larry. We're going to talk about some Ty. He doesn't know it yet, but we will. And of course, celebrating Big Dave's alien birthday. He's Area 51 now. This is
that's cool.
Area 51, and there was some talk of some old songs that had me on them, recorded guitar-wise.
Yeah.
We might talk about some of that.
That's cool.
Might be able to play some of that. Larry, I think you may have heard that stuff when it was new. So you may remember it. It had Ted Poley singing on it.
Was that the stuff like the 80s commercial stuff for TV?
Yes. It was actually 90, 95.
90s. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. It was stuff made for Baywatch.
Baywatch?
Actually.
Yeah.
Made for Baywatch. These three songs apparently didn't actually make the show, but there were some that were on the show.
That's cool. They're
anyway,
good songs. And Ben, I've got to say, Ben, it's always a pleasure to be with you every week. And I got to hang out with Ben on his show on Sunday night, and I got to sit back. I had my feet up on the couch, and I was just participating in the chat. Ben, it was a good time, man. It was a really good show. Enjoyed
I remember
myself
the first
Sunday.
half. It got a little foggy the second half, not going to lie. If you want to know more, tune into that. So, it was cool having you in the chat there, Ty, and we're showing off guitars and talking pedals and all kinds of just malarkey, really.
Ben, you're being very modest because he hit 3,000 subscribers.
That's
awesome.
That's a huge achievement. So congratulations, my friend.
Yeah, congrats, Ben.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
If I had my little clapper, I'd do that, but this is the wrong show.
Thank you.
Jay
Thank
might
you.
be able to do that though.
Do what?
The clap.
Oh, I don't have the clap.
You don't have the clapper thing?
He cleared that up after Ozfest. That's what I heard.
I don't know where mine went to. I think mine got thrown away after I left that show. I don't know.
Well, I want to get to the chat here. We've got a whole crew in here already. I'm looking at Dwight Bailey, Brendan Buttcheeks himself, Kurt 5150, Michael Carver, Brian Spalding, Thomas Santiago, Richard Nesdall. Awesome. Hello, Dad. We got some guy named 7/8 in here. Got to be an imposter or somebody. Sabrina Lamb is here. Awesome. Chad, Lars Guitars. Let's see who else. Some guy named Ty Price. He seems to show up in the chat every week. He's a regular viewer, I think.
There we go.
Real quick, I want to say a special hello to Super Fuzz, who left a really nice comment about Ty on one of the last shows. So really cool, Super Fuzz. Thank you.
Nice. And we got Guitar Man 45, Fruitcake Tony, Jay Jr. 2007. Did we mention the Chad? If not, he needs to be mentioned at least once, if not twice. So the Chad. Let's see. I think we got everybody. Some guy named Ben Coombs. That's got to be a troll. Oh, Terry's 3Gs, our faithful moderator. Awesome.
Hey, Terry.
Awesome.
Terry, how you doing?
All right. Guitar Samurai 1. Nice.
I rock the blues. One of my favorite handles.
Or, when he's in my chat, it's I rock Zed Blues.
Zed?
Yep.
That's right.
Is that really what they call Z in Canada?
Yeah, it's YYZ.
YYZ, yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, Kurt. Hey, Brendan. Hey, Chad. Thomas. And Fruitcake Tony. Good to see you, my man. I got to hang out with Fruitcake Tony and Brendan on Saturday night, and we talked a lot of GNR. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Good man.
Tony has got such an impressive collection of GNR memorabilia. I mean, it is really world class, and I'm not overstating that. I mean, it is an incredible collection. Hey, Brian Spalding, good to see you, my friend.
I agree. Tony dared me one week to stump him on a pick, because for those who don't know, Tony's got one of the world's finest pick collection. And I said,
question.
All right, one of my favorite guitar players. He's been an enigma for a quarter century. What about Izzy Stradlin? He goes, I'll send you an Izzy Stradlin pick.
Oh yeah, he had Tony had a whole handful of Izzy Stradlin picks dating all the way back to the first Appetite tour.
I was going to say, didn't you say he had the whole collection?
I think Tony's got every pick from every player that's ever been in GNR from every tour. I mean, it is just impressive.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool. So let's talk about the what we're talking about. Let's talk about some Ibanez guitars.
Mm-hmm.
How about it?
Larry, first of all, tell us how you became an Ibanez endorsee when you were one.
In 86 and 87, Sam Ash and the Limelight had a guitar solo contest, and I won the first year, and only because I entered because I needed a real guitar, and they were giving away a Steve Stevens Hamer Steve Stevens model guitar. Mm-hmm. And so I entered and I won, and the guys at Guitar World said that they were going to write about me, but they did not. And so the next year I saw the guys in Guitar World, and they said, "Oh, we're definitely going to write about this year's winner." I was like, "Oh crap!" So I entered the contest, not needing a guitar at the time, but figured that if I win, they'll write about me. If I lose, they'll write about the new winner beating last year's winner. I'm not really that competitive that way, but I ended up winning, and they did a story on me. And at the same time, Steve Blucher, who makes these lovely pickups at DiMaggio, who designed these pickups, contacted me about a guitar company. I was looking for street level guitar players to work out deals with, an endorsement kind of thing. To kind of, actually the words were to kind of do what Ibanez was doing at the time, which is taking relatively unknown guitar players, but on the street level, and promoting them. And so he wanted to put my name in a hat. I said yes, and he called me back and said they're interested. They'd love to meet you and talk with you at NAMM. And I was like, okay. So and at that time, in order for me to go to NAMM, I had to sell the two guitars that I won the Hamer Steve Stevens model, and I won a Kramer Pacer, maybe? I can't remember. It was
a white
really nice
Pacer,
Kramer.
right?
And I had to sell those to get to NAMM.
Oh,
So those were the only guitars, the only real nice guitars that I had. So I went out there with no guitars, basically. And we walked over to this company, which is going to remain nameless Dave. Dave knows who they are, but actually Jay knows who, I think, too. And so I was looking at all these iconic guitars. I said, this is going to be great. And the arts relations guy came out and said, all right, this is the guitar we want you to play. And I looked at it and was like, oh, that's hideous. And then and Steve Blucher said, well, just play it. They can always change the looks a little bit. And so I tried to play it, and I really didn't like the guitar. And I told Steve that. And then at the time, I was like, I'm not putting my name associated with something, even though my name was not really well known or at all. And so I asked the guy, I said, can I just play one of these other guitars that you make? He said, nope, this is the guitar we want to promote. I was like, oh. So I said, let's go talk about it. And then I didn't want to go back. And so I told Steve that, and he's like, well, all right, so you don't have any guitars, right? I said, no. He goes, all right, I'll make you something. And as we were leaving, we passed by this big poster of Steve Vai, life-size poster of Steve Vai. And I remember playing an Ibanez 550 in a store once and thought it was really cool. And I said, what about Ibanez? He goes, oh, they're done with unknown players. They're only looking for people with a name now. I said, can we try? And he said, yes. And so we walked over, introduced me to Richard Lasner, who's a really great guy. And I gave him my press kit that I had with me. And he said, oh, great, nice to meet you. And it's cool. And that was it. And I was like, uh-oh. I felt like I walked away feeling like, oh, crap. I don't have any guitars. I don't have any shot at anything. All right. And later on that night, I happened to run. I was getting in the elevator into Hilton. And Richard Lasner was in the elevator. And I said, hi, Rich, do you remember? He goes, yeah, I remember you. I said, what are the odds? Because I'm starting to panic now. I go, what are the odds of me getting an endorsement? Which is something you should never do, by the way. Of me getting an endorsement, and finding out soon. And he goes, oh, well, we get swamped with people asking. He goes, to be honest with you, I rarely listen to more than one or check out more than one artist at a NAMM show. We have a meeting about 2 weeks after NAMM, and then we start talking about it. I said, can you do me a favor? If you only can listen to one, can you listen to mine? Can you check out my package? He said, yes, I could do that. So the next day I was looking for Steve. He was going to take me around to some other places. And I think I skipped the fact that Guitar World did do a story on me. And it was it's a big Hendrix issue. I forgot what it's called, but it's a huge Hendrix issue. Anyway, so the next day I was looking for Steve Blucher and couldn't find him. And I ended up right by the Ibanez booth. And I saw Richard Lasner there reading a magazine. So I walked over, and as I walked, I could tell he was reading the Guitar World magazine that I'm in. And I didn't speed up or slow down, but as he's turning pages, as I'm walking, he's turning the pages. And as soon as I got there, he had turned to the page, and I was on that page. I said, hi, wow. Rich. And he goes, hey. And he looked up, looked down. He goes, hey, I listened to your package and checked out your package. I listened to your tape. And it was a cassette tape. God, that's old.
What's that?
1988. And he goes, yeah, I really dig it. We can work with you. And I'm like, awesome. And that's how I got to be an Ibanez artist.
That's great. What a great story. So,
and I never looked back at that other company again.
Well, that's good. Very good. So, so how long was it before you got your first guitar, and what was it?
First guitar was a white. Actually, I can't get to it now. It's a white 550 with a maple fretboard, which is odd because I was into maple fretboards, but since then the only other guitar other than a few tellies for recording, the only guitar I play live that has maple fretboard is my Nags. But it's a white 550 from 1988. I got it probably 2 weeks after NAMM.
Okay.
I had to take the train because Dave knows I didn't drive. Dave drove me all over this country. I didn't
For a
drive,
while.
so I took the train from Manhattan to Bensalem, Pennsylvania, or it was another train, Croydon. You go to Croydon, and then they pick you up from Croydon.
Wow.
So you didn't have a guitar for a few weeks. You went to NAMM. You sold your guitar.
I didn't have a really good guitar. I have a 76 Ibanez Les Paul copy, but it needed some love. And Jim Donahue actually gave it lots of love after that. After I became an artist, Jim was working at Ibanez at the time. But yeah, I had that, and I had this crazy weird. It was Earl Slick had a couple of models. I don't remember what the name of the company, but it was an Earl Slick model guitar. It was zebra stripe, and after a while, we put putty in it and put one pickup in it, and then hand painted it, and it was horrible. It was horrible. That was my only guitar with a tremolo and stuff like that. And later on, there's a good story with that too. I got the endorsement. February. Yes, it was February. Because in April, I got called to do the Miguel Bosé tour. He's a big, huge artist in Spain and Italy. And I called Richard Lasner up, and I said, "Hey, Rich, I'm doing this tour." And I was scared to ask him. I was like, "Hey, I know." Oh, their deal was for me, for the unknown artists, were we could, we're not going to give you tons of guitars. We're going to set you up with a guitar that you love. And if anything goes wrong, we can fix it, replace it. Even if you're at a gig, if you go into a gig, something after guitar, we can make a deal. We can get you to go into a store and pick one off the wall. It was a great deal. But it was about street level endorsement. But from February to April, that's what it was like. But in April, I got the Miguel Bosé tour, which was big. I mean, the biggest artist we did was in Spain was 90,000 people. The average in Spain, I think, was about 20. And so I called him up, and I was scared to ask him for a backup guitar. I didn't have a real good backup guitar. And so finally it did. And he goes, yeah, come on down. And I said, hey, I have this other guitar that I kind of, messed with. Can you, it had an ESP neck on it too. Because I had broken the neck I used to fling the guitar around my body, broken the neck. And Pierre arranged for me to get an ESP neck directly from ESP to put on that guitar. And now it had some issues, so that I wanted to know if they could tweak that. So I asked them for a second guitar and if they could tweak this other bizarre thing. And I go there, I met Mace, and I met Jim Donahue and Bill Kaminsky, who is now at Fender Guitars. I think Bill's still there. He was at Ibanez. And Richard looked at me, and he gave the guitars all. He gave my main guitar, the white 550, and the other bizarre thing to Jim and Mace, and said they were gonna fix it up for me, and then they were gonna. We picked out another guitar as my backup, which was the Jewel Blue 540R.
540,
I
yeah.
liked the round.
This one?
And yes, and he said, "Let's go to lunch." So when we came back from lunch, the 550 felt even better than it did the white one. The blue one felt amazing from the start. And then they handed me this other guitar, which I don't even remember I can't even remember what it was now.
I think I remember. I think it was a red. It was a red 540R.
Oh, it might have been the red. Yeah. Thank you.
Hum
My
single.
Probably, yeah. And I said, "That's not the guitar I gave you." He goes, "Yeah, it is. We just changed the neck, the body, the pickups, and the tremolo." I was like, "It's like what?" He goes, "Yeah, you can't take that other guitar to Europe. It'll be, fall apart." I was like, "Oh, okay." So, yeah, I don't even know. I think they might have thrown that other body. They asked me if I wanted it. They might have thrown that other body in the trash. But yeah, so I left there with 3 guitars, and
that's awesome.
I would. One of the cool things about those days was when I got to Italy, where we rehearsed for a month and a little over a month, the Ibanez rep distributor in Italy called me, found out where I was at, called me, and said, "Hey, I just want to make sure your guitars survived the flight and everything, all right? Let me come check them out." I said, "Sure." So he came, took one of the guitars and tweaked them and brought it back. And he goes, "If you need anything, let me know." And it was like, wow, this is really cool. It was very cool. That was my
They really
introduction to it.
took care of the artist back then.
True support system for sure.
It was great back then. Yeah.
So
that's
you
how
you had those 3 guitars. At what point did this guitar come?
Oh, that was much later. Had to be 91, maybe 90. I don't think I had that for the first record. I definitely didn't have it for the first.
You
record.
didn't have it for
Probably
the first
91,
record.
92. I did. I used that on the Billy Squire tour. Yes.
Yep.
So 91.
Very cool. So this guitar was all white. I
On
know
the
it looks
Squire tour.
cream. It looks cream now, cream and black. But this was as white could be, ghost white. And tell us about this guitar, Larry. Do you remember anything about it, or do you want me to talk about it a bit? Or I know it's been a long time since it's been in your hands.
That guitar was put together at the Ibanez Custom Shop in L.A. I had 2 of them. I had that one and the black one. The black one had blue pickups. Yeah, it took forever to get that guitar.
I
I'm
know
not
that
gonna
it's
say
a
why.
it's a Satriani body and it's alder.
Well,
Which is-
it wasn't a Satriani body. Right at the same time, all the R's became Satriani bodies, but it was at the beginning of it becoming a Satriani body.
Oh, okay, yes, that's right. So basically, it was just an R radius body,
Right.
and then Satch apparently said anything with this shape is now mine, and no one
Right.
else could have it.
So that's a transition piece. That's that one. The blue one was considered in that category, but the white, that one was done right before they actually announced that whole thing.
Okay, well that's very cool, and the pickups in this is this an X2N or an X3N? Do you remember?
I think that's an X2N.
Okay, so X2N, gem single coil, and a PAF Pro,
Yep.
and an Edge, low Pro Edge.
Yep.
This is
I
the
introduced
second.
the low pro.
Yeah, this is the second neck from this guitar.
I think
I
so.
believe you broke the first neck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Should we ask? Were you flinging that one around as well, Larry? Or
I don't remember how I broke that neck. Did I break its win?
I thought you broke it at a Cat Club gig, and it might have been in anger.
No. No.
No, I'm telling you, you got upset at something, and I think
Nah.
you threw the guitar or you dropped it on the ground. It was some I don't remember exactly, but I
Maybe
remember Okay. Okay. Well, he was so happy that he dropped his guitar. And I remember
John Levin broke that guitar. No, just kidding.
I think you had handed it to me.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Well, look at that." And it had right where the right where these holes are, right where the snake bite is.
Yeah.
It was cracked. It was cracked right in there. So I mean, it was it was repairable, but of course they took care of you and you put another neck on. So
Yeah.
and then tell us about that double neck.
This. This guitar is interesting. When I was still on that Miguel Bosé tour in 1988, I remember I made a phone call. I called Richard Lasner to thank him about all the support and everything that was going on with Ibanez. And he asked about the guitars. I said they were great. And he goes, "Hey, man, what is anything you want?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, anything you need, any other kind of guitars?" I said, You know, Rich, the only thing I ever really wanted was a double neck. Because I don't know, some of you guys know, Dave knows, I think, that I was at a high school, a little after high school, I was in a Rush tribute band. And and we played way too many Rush tunes. Now, I love Rush, but we played way too many because there weren't many women in the audience. So
Never are at a Rush show.
Eventually, we ended up playing Zebra, Triumph, and the Police. And when you play Police songs, all the women in the club end up on the dance floor or by the stage. You play Rush songs, most of them go do something else. But it's not like that. I've seen Rush, you know, in the last few years, and it's definitely way more women than they were back in the 80s, or especially early 80s. And so I always wanted a double neck because Alex had that double neck. And so Richard goes, yeah, we could do that. I'm like, really? Okay, cool. So when I got back from the tour, I think it was in '89, I took the train there, and Mace and I think Jim Donahue had not made a double neck at that point. And so they were trying to figure out. So they were like, well, what do you want? How do you want it? And I'm like, I don't know. I just want a double neck. And I had never actually played a double neck before. So I was worried that I was going to my hand was going to hit the necks in between and stuff. You know, most double necks are actually about that far apart. And I remember they put two bodies, like one person was holding two bodies, and then the other person came up and held two necks. And I said, oh, maybe make them a little wider apart. And we did, and they measured it out, and this is I don't know if you guys can see it. This is like a 540R, or two of them stuck together. This is the same as that white guitar.
Nice.
It's round. It's not a saber. It's not an S. The S's used to be called sabers, and the R's used to be called radius. And I'm about to knock over coffee. So Mace Bailey built this guitar. It was the first double neck he ever built. And when I went to pick it up, they said, you know, this guitar is really big. And it's swamp ash. It's one piece of swamp ash.
Wow.
That's why it sounds so good.
It's massive. It's heavy. Jim Downey has actually scooped out a chunk of wood for me to try and make it lighter in the last, I don't know, like maybe 5 years ago. It's massive, and they didn't have a case that would fit, so I had to get a case made for it, and the case is ridiculously wide because most double necks are like that, and when you do that, the necks just shoot out, so the whole body isn't wide. This one goes up, so if you look at it, there's a lot of space right here, and therefore the whole, this is up higher than it should be. It should be down lower. It just expands. It just goes, it shoots out. And the other thing was when I was there, Steve Vai was in the process of looking for something different. And so they had custom made 3 D necks. So this neck, if you see, goes like this is where most guitars stop. So this is E, this fret. But it goes past E. So this whole guitar is tuned a whole step lower, but then over here, this is G, that's A, B, C, D. So it has this like looseness to it. So it's called a D neck. It's 2 frets lower. Some people go to 11 on the amp, and some people go 2 frets lower. So
that's pretty amazing.
There were 3 of these necks made, and but then they abandoned the idea when Steve decided to do a 7-string, and so this neck was just lying around. I said, "Hey, what's that?" And they explained. I said, "Can you put that on the double neck?" And they did. This is the first neck. This neck, I don't think it's ever been taken off, other than when Jim scooped the wood out. So it's got a 12-string and a D neck. And when I mentioned it to Steve, he kind of vaguely remembers it. But he mainly remembers it because, if you know, Mace Bailey also built Steve's triple neck heart-shaped guitar. And there are two of those. Those both have D necks on them. So I guess if Steve wanted a third one of those, I'd be in trouble. But they had to get permission from Steve to give up the neck, and then he had the triple neck. Mace built the triple neck for him and put it on there, and then they built a backup for the triple neck because you need a backup for your triple neck heart-shaped guitar.
Wow.
Very cool.
The last time I saw one of the triple necks, it was in Vegas Hard Rock.
Yeah.
So that's this guitar. It's got the Maggio pickups in it, and like I said, I can't remember if this is X2 in or X3 in. I really don't remember. You'd have to take it out and see.
But those are probably gem sync coils in that guitar, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because back then you couldn't buy. You still can't buy a gem single coil, but they would put them in the artist's guitars.
Well, I just realized. Oh, I just realized that you can't turn this off. That's interesting.
Huh. So, is the 12 string in tune?
That was going to be my question, Dave.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's ever been in tune, actually.
It's been in tune. I used it a couple of times. They don't make guitars like they used to, where they stay in tune. From the factory.
That's so funny. So, Jade, what's that guitar you have?
Look at there.
Nice.
Hey now.
So, Larry, you want to tell us a little bit about that guitar?
Look how much of a weenie I am. I even put the guitar pick how you used to have it. Your guitar pick in there too.
Oh, did you get that? Where'd you get the pick from?
David Nesdahl, my good pal. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I used to tech for Larry, so when Larry would say, "Where'd all my picks go?"
Dave, do you have another one of those, Dave?
I do. I've got a white one and I've got a purple one, I think. Do you want me to send them to you?
No. I might at some point want one.
Yeah.
Have one.
Sure.
But
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't. That's one of the things. That guitar was that guitar white before?
It was. It was what? Yes, it was white. And
you can kind of see in the cavity in the back. It's white. It's white underneath, I think, right?
Yes. A year after this black and white one was painted by Darren, and that's Darren Johansson from About Time Designs. You had given him that body, and you asked him to to swirl a purple guitar for you, make it purple, and that's what he did. I remember you had gotten the guitar. Darren came to a Kenny's Castaways show, brought that guitar in, and you flipped over it. We both did. It was gorgeous. It was the first time we both saw it. It was like, oh my god.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I don't remember much about. I know I used it in '93. I think it was. I used it a lot.
93 and 94.
93, 94. If it was all white, I might have used it on the Squire tour.
You may have, but I remember you using an all white triple single coil guitar.
Yes. Yeah.
For that. I recently just saw videos on YouTube of you playing a triple single coil on that tour. Anyway, so that guitar, I have a photo of you and I playing at a place called Sparks in Long Island.
Yeah.
It was my one of my cover bands, and I had said to Larry beforehand, I was like, why don't you come out and do one of your songs with us? We're covering Lies, and Lies is a song on Larry's debut record, and And Larry's like, yeah, I think I can make it. I know I'm not gigging, so I'll try to get out there. So he comes out there. He brings that guitar, gets on stage with us. We play Lies. It was the most fun thing. There it is.
Am I gonna get you flagged?
What?
Am I gonna get Dave flagged?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because we're gonna get flagged anyway. I'm gonna play those other 3 songs, but so that guitar has made. I have photos of you playing that guitar. I have a really good photo that I just sent to Jay of you playing that guitar from that night, and then there's another photo of you and I standing together. I'm holding like a cotton candy looking Radius, and you're playing that guitar. It's really cool. And Larry, I may have sent you the picture of you playing that guitar at one time, but I'll send it again. It's
Okay,
really cool.
yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah. But that guitar is, I believe, mahogany. That body is mahogany.
It's heavier than I thought it was gonna be.
Yes.
I was gonna say, it looked like it's about 2 pounds.
Yeah,
It's not basswood. It's not
No,
basswood.
it's
Yeah.
definitely mahogany. It's got what we believe is an X3N pickup, which is not. It's not a production pickup. I don't think it was ever put in production, but it's a DiMarzio X3N.
Yeah, I think I'm
especially
the
for
only one that
Larry.
had. Yeah, I think the only one had extra ends. Jay, if you ever when you take the strings off, just pop the pickup out and see what it says on the back.
You think I'm changing anything on this guitar? These strings are staying out. No, I'm joking.
So check out some of these things. Those pickups, I believe, are fast tracks. DiMarzio
They are, yeah.
fast tracks.
They would have to be not production then.
Back
When
then,
did-
maybe not, but they are production fast tracks now.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, that neck. If you see where the neck is, where there's no binding, where it's by the neck pickup, that neck was a 24 fret neck that was cut
Yeah.
down to fit that guitar.
Yep.
Was it an RG neck?
It was an RG neck cut down to fit that guitar, that body for 22 frets.
And it's still 25.5-inch scale. I measured it.
Oh yeah, it'll always be
Yeah.
25 and a half. But that guitar absolutely screams. It's a great guitar. If there's any complaint at all about that guitar, it's that the route for the Floyd is so shallow that you can't really pull back on it.
Yeah, but you can't go too deep in that guitar because there's not much
There's
depth
no
in
depth.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much decked right now. So, which hey,
But that guitar, I'm glad that Jay has it in his collection because it could have been in my collection many, many times, but every time I had some money, I forgot about that guitar.
good. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Very
just so
cool.
people at home know, he didn't buy it from me. It was someone else sold it to him.
Yeah, that guitar, either Larry left it somewhere and it mysteriously got lost and now it's found.
Tell us the story about how you acquired it, Jay.
I don't know if I should do that on here. It's nothing crazy. I mean, I saw maybe a year or so ago that somebody was selling, because I've been bugging Larry ever since we became friendly and stuff about, do you have any of your old Ibanez guitars that you're willing to get rid of? Oh, he's giving a lot of them away. And I probably got a little annoying at some point.
No.
So I'm just joking. So I saw one. I don't know. I typed in, I think on Reverb or eBay one time. It was Reverb, and I saw this guitar. It said Larry Mitchell, in Ibanez and Dorsey or whatever. And I remember it was I don't know, maybe a year ago or a little less than a year ago, Larry. I sent you the link or something. I sent you a screenshot, and I said, was this yours? And you're like, yeah. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just some BS, some guy having a guitar that said it was your guitar. So long story short, it took me a while, but I was like, you know what? How cool would it be to own one of the guys that literally is the reason why I play guitar. Like, how awesome would it be to have one of my musical idols instruments, and it's really cool. I can't, it's almost like a priceless thing to me right now. It's super neat. I don't want to get all fanboy, but it's kind of how it is.
It's not
cool,
it's
man.
not being fanboy. It's actually, I mean, come on. I'm the same way. These guitars, both these guitars have been around the world with a celebrity artist. No matter, I don't care. Larry could be my best friend. He's one of my best friends. He's still a celebrity artist. He's still big time. And these guitars have history, and that is one of the coolest things on the planet.
Well, and
cool,
Dave,
man.
I was telling you on the phone, I think the day after I got it, or the day I got it, that, like, some people, collect like sports memorabilia and stuff, and that's cool. But the thing is with sports memorabilia, most of us aren't athletes, so it literally just hangs on the wall or whatever. Like,
Right.
I can play this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can play.
And you're not going to take Mickey Mantle's bat down to the batting cage.
Imagine- So yeah, I'm able to, kind of like, because I've said this before, when you're kids and you're listening to music, sitting on your bed, like staring at the album cover, listening to the music. And it was the same type of thing. Like, I'd started playing guitar and I would, it's like anything. You almost pretend that you're that person on stage when you're playing that music. Now I'm 43 years old, a long time after I started playing guitar, and now I'm able to kind of, do that. So
One step closer, Jay.
Well,
One
tell
step
us-
closer.
really cool.
Tell us all what you just did with that guitar this week.
What do you mean?
Video?
I did a video. Oh yeah. You're confusing me now. I was like, what the hell? So anyway, my band is our third single from the new album is coming out on May 14th. And during the song, there's an intro kind of lead solo part, and then the outro, like the extended chorus of the song, there's another lead. So I'm like, shit, man, how cool would it be to like play one of these guitars? Obviously, I didn't play it on the album, but so for the outro solo of the song in the music video, and I'll show you the green screen shot because I don't have the video, but that's I'm playing that guitar.
Cool.
Nice haircut, by the way.
Oh, geez, yeah. I couldn't do it with a hat. I usually wear a hat, but I was like, I can't wear a hat in all my videos. So yeah, I get to play one of Larry's old guitars and everybody in the band was like, that's so. I was expecting somebody to be like, come on, man, we play 7 strings. I don't have a 6 string in the video. I'm like, I was waiting for somebody to say that, but everybody was like, oh, that's so cool. Hell yeah, man, do it. So,
Awesome.
Yeah. That's
Good
cool,
stuff.
Jay.
very cool. And
What a great story, because it's so rare that we get to do that, right? I mean, it's I don't know anyone except you and Dave that have something like that that's that deep. I know plenty of guys that have pieces that they've collected, but to have a relationship with the original artist, a friendship with the original artist who owned the guitar, how many 2 decades ago, Larry? I mean, long time ago. And
2 decades. Oh,
yeah, now I mean,
3 decades, right?
3
now
decades.
you've got them.
3 decades. Yeah. Wow.
That's a really, really cool thing, guys,
It is.
and a rare thing, and a rare thing.
I can't tell you how many times I've been offered tens of thousands of dollars for this guitar, and I will never, ever, I don't care if someone offers me $1 million, I will never get rid of this guitar.
Let's try it. Somebody offer Dave $1 million and see what
I
happens.
tell you what, offer me $1 million, this way I can give Larry $500,000.
What do I get for this?
$1
Everybody's
million.
selling Larry's guitars now. Well, Larry, I told you this story before, but Ty, you made me kind of think of it. Back in, I want to say it was 06. At the same time, Larry was obviously with Ibanez. At the time, I was an Ibanez endorsee as well. And I was on the phone with our mutual rep at the time, Mike Taft. and he's at work. We were playing a gig in Atlantic City, and we're just shooting the shit. And all of a sudden, he's like, "Hey, Jay, I got to go. Larry Mitchell just walked in." What? Larry? Yo, tell him. I try to like ramble off like the fast forward story of, because he knew the story of whatever. But he's like, "I got to go, Jay," and he like hung up on me. And I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool," But here we are, how many years later, and it's no big thing, It's very cool.
And we almost did that tour together.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ozfest 05. I didn't know that as well. Larry was well, I don't know if you want to, Okay.
There was an artist on that tour that for a minute was looking for another guitar player, and for a split second I was in the running for it. I didn't do it. Didn't happen.
That would have been so.
But we would have met then.
That would have been so cool.
Yep. Yeah. So what other guitars were there in this series, Larry? There was a black Radius with blue pickups, which was basically
same guitar as that.
Exactly the same guitar as this X2N Gem single coil PAF Pro. Mm-hmm. I remember owning that guitar for a little while, and then I gave it back to you, and then from there it got lost. I think, and I'll tell the story if you don't mind. I used to tech for Larry. And, sometimes it was a little tight. And Larry was a mensch. He never, he always took care of me, no matter what. Always took care of me. And didn't have to, never had to, but he always took care of me. And one day he said, I'm a little short on cash today. How about I give you this guitar? Are you insane? It's your guitar. I said, yeah, I don't care. It's the backup. I use the white one. Why don't you take the guitar? So I took the guitar, and I knew one day I was going to just give it back to him. I just knew it. I couldn't in good faith keep an instrument as pay. Just couldn't do it. So one day he was like, Dave, are you using that black guitar? I'm like, it's yours. You want it back? He's like, yeah, I'd like it back. And I gave it back to him. And that was just it. It was like that. I enjoyed it while I had it, and I enjoyed giving it back. So there was that guitar. And then,
I was just gonna say, considering that some of the people we know there, and I've helped a friend of ours tune guitars for a major artist, and I kept going, how does like Keith Richards remember what guitars you have? I've never done drugs in my life. I don't drink. There's a surprising amount of guitars I have no idea where they are. From the 90s, I have not a clue.
Man. Yeah,
and I don't drink, and I don't do drugs. I don't know how Keith Richards knows where all his guitars are.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't. And his tech will bring him a guitar at a session and goes, here, I think you'll play this one. He goes, this is
Pierre. I was kidding. We know. I was kidding. We know Pierre, his tech.
Yeah. Pierre is he's the guy.
Pierre's awesome.
He's got everyone's credit card, and he just buys guitars for his artists, and they say, okay, I'm glad you did that. Thank you. It's one of those things. But yeah, so one day that guitar will come up. It'll be found somewhere. It'll be on eBay or Reverb, and come hell or high water, I am going to buy that guitar because I want the pair.
We'll get into a bidding war with each other, Dave.
No, no, no.
I'll wait for that text thread. I'm on eBay. This guy keeps outbidding me. I'm trying to get one of Larry's guitars. Real? Oh, damn. Yeah, that's me. My bad. Sorry, you just spent $4,000 more than you wanted to, but hey,
So there's another guitar that Darren actually has that's swirled like, look, they're like summer colors, and I think that was the white triple single coil guitar that you used on.
Yeah, actually, I know where that guitar is. I do know where that guitar is.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that guitar, and I had that for a minute too. I think I had it rewired. Darren had sent it up to me because the wiring was a little funky on it, and I had it wired by Larry Fitzgerald, and I had it for maybe a month and sent it back down to Darren. I didn't want to send that back down either, but he wanted it back, so I sent it finally. And there were quite a few of them. There's quite a few guitars, and then you got the Blazer guitars.
Yeah, I got into Blazer. I stopped using locking tremolo guitars, and that's where part of it started. So I didn't play any of these guitars at all in the late '90s.
So what made you kind of veer away from the double locking trems?
It was a lot of things. A big thing, a part of it was the tone is very different. The biggest thing is that I remember getting a ride to a rehearsal with a band. This had to be before. This was before I moved to San Diego, which is when I stopped using the locking tremolo guitars. I should call someone else who has another one. I got driven to the rehearsal out on Long Island, and I used to have all the guitars they're all in the same cases, the same cases at the time. And this is before I learned to label the cases. And I picked up 2 guitars, and it took them there, and they were tuned to E flat, and there was not a wrench anywhere to be found. It was just like brutal, and that was bad. And then when I lived in San Diego, Jim Donahue made me. Just when we were talking about it, remember Ibanez had those PVC
Yeah.
Those necks, the really thin necks, but it had a thin metal truss rod that went all the way through, and you could basically the neck was super straight.
And the headstock was a second piece. It came off. You could put it on.
You could, yes. And he made me an arch top, and it was amazing. It still is an amazing guitar, and it had a Wilkinson
VSV.
No, not the VS. The VS100 had the VS100 tremolo in it. Because Andy Timmons and I were both the only ones using the VS100 at the Ibanez thing. And then later Andy's model came out and had the VSV on it because he liked the VSV. And I think now Andy likes. We both started having a VS100 plate and VSV saddles. Yeah. And then they ended up making I guess it's called a VS300 or something like that.
It's the VS300. I'll show you. I have it here.
I'm going to say they made that more because of Andy than for me. But we were the only people that I knew that were doing it. And so I started using that guitar. I had 2 of those. Oh, actually, yeah. The first one of those I had on the Billy Squier tour because that was the guitar that had a detuner on it. And then the second one I had of that was purple. Yep, that's it. And I could tell this because I tease Niall whenever I've teased Niall about it before. But when I did the Rick Ocasek record, I had just gotten another one of those guitars that it was American Standard Series or some American something series, and it was purple, and it was translucent purple, transparent purple. And I took it and I played it under Rick Ocasek on one of the songs, and Nile Rodgers fell in love with the guitar, and he's like, "This is great." I said, "You're Nile Rodgers. Give him a call. They'll give you one." And he's like, "No, they won't." I said, "Yeah, they will." And so I put him in touch with Chris Kelly. And remember, I had just gotten the guitar, and like a week later, Chris calls me and goes, "Hey, man, I know we sent you that guitar, but can I get it back I'll send it back to you, but I just need to get it back for something." I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, sure." So I sent it back to him. And then, like, I go back in the studio with Niall and Rick Ocasek a few weeks later, and Niall goes, "You're right, man. They sent me this guitar." And I'm looking at him like, "Niall, that's my guitar." He goes, No, they sent it to me." I never got the replacement.
Oh,
so funny.
God.
But it's Nile Rodgers. He's one of my heroes. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So I had that, and I had the non-tremolo one that I used on the Billy Squier tour with a detuner. And then later on, when I got to San Diego, Jim Donahue made me another one when it had that it was an arch top RG. And I remember he wanted me to bring it to a NAMM show and show it to the president of the company at the time. And I just remember the guy not wanting to even see it. He's like, no, RG, Art Stop, not possible. Not possible. And we're like, yeah, it's right. It's right here. It's possible. And he just didn't want anything to do with that guitar at all. It's a great guitar. My friend Glenn in San Diego has that guitar. I don't know. I should see if Glenn wants to show it on TV, stuff like that. But so those are the guitars I used that didn't have any tremolo. And then Rob Nishida was artist relations at the time. He called me up and said, we're about to introduce a new guitar that's kind of a super Strat, and it has no lock and tremolo. I know you like the non-lock and tremolo. And they ended up putting the Wilkinson tremolo in there as well. And those are the Roadstar, the Blazer reissues. That was 97, 98, 99. So, cool. And just so you know, I am the killer of models usually. So for a while, if you put me, like I started out introducing the Maxis. Pretty much if you put me in the catalog, in those days I was, you open the catalog and it was Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, and it might have been Paul Gilbert and then me. And then there might have been Andy and somebody else, stuff like that. But we're all like set our own pages and stuff. And if you put me, and those guys all had their own model. I didn't have a model. If you put me in the catalog with the same model guitar for 2 years in a row, that guitar was pretty much dead. I am the killer of models. So it just discontinued. It's like, and actually. The new artist, I'll just tell this quick story about, for a while, at the end of my time with Ibanez, I was using the, I don't remember what it's called. It's super thin. Dave, you remember what it's called?
Oh, yeah, it's an SA.
I hate, SV. No, yeah, SV.
Okay, yeah.
The SA is a different one.
Yes,
but
that's a custom shop guitar.
Yeah, and it was very cool. It was super thin, and I remember the new artist relations guy, Mike Arrigo, came in, and I was telling him about, just so you know, that if you put me in the catalog with the same model guitar for 2 years in a row, it's going to be discontinued. Oh, yeah, funny. And I remember him asking me, do I want anything? I said, yeah, I'd like a blue one of these SVs. And I think it's SV. And he goes, oh yeah, we could do that. And it's got a different scale on it. There's something different about the guitar. The width of the tremolo is different. And
the neck is also really wide.
The neck is really wide. I kind of dug that. And he called me up one day. I was in California visiting my cousin. And he called me up. He goes, hey, your guitar just came in. Do you want to? And they couldn't make that, though. That model guitar they couldn't make at the custom shop. It had to be made in Japan. So the custom shop could usually make anything, and he pretty much did, except that model guitar, because it was so thin and something else about it, and the tremolo and so. And I said, hey, he goes, where do you want me to send it? I said, no, I'm in LA. I'll come pick it up. And when we got there, I'm playing the guitar, and it's really cool. And we were talking, and just about ready to go. I said, so is this guitar still in production? He goes, sure. I said, all right, you sure? Because this is like year 2 or 3 for me with this model guitar. And he goes, yeah, no, it's totally in production. And there was a guy that used to be head of marketing, I think worldwide, named Happy Yoshida. Happy is a wonderful, wonderful guy. Happy happens to walk by. He's in L.A. at that time. He's based out of Japan, but he happened to be in L.A. He walks by and I go, hey, Happy. And he goes, hey, it's good to see you. We're talking. And so I said, just at the end, I was like, oh, Happy, I just got this guitar. Is it still in production? He goes, no. and so I start dying laughing. And Mike Arrigo's like, no, Happy, he means like it's not. He wants to know if the guitar is still in production, like it's going to be made. It's not discontinued. Happy goes, no, it's discontinued. And I'm still dying laughing. And Mike is like, no, Happy, you don't understand. He goes, no, I understand. It's no more. We discontinued a few days ago.
Oh my God.
So I actually handed the guitar back. I said, Mike, I mean, you're going to, at some point, you're going to tell me you're going to ask me to not kindly not play it at like Ibanez events. So do you want this back? He goes, no, you keep it. But
So funny.
that was it. And I said, do you understand what I'm talking about now? It's just like I play a model, I get used to it, and then I get called to do like a clinic or a NAMM show or something. And I go, does it matter what guitar I play? And I go, no, it's all good. You're introducing a pedal for us and you're introducing this. And it's like, okay. And then 2 weeks before the event, they go, hey, what guitar are you going to play? I said, well, I was going to play the guitar that I've been playing. He goes, yeah, that guitar is not in production anymore. Let me send you something new to see. And I'm like, 2 weeks before we have to do this? Really? 2 weeks? So that was a little bit of my history with Ibanez for 26 years.
It's so crazy.
Man.
So crazy. So you have those two blazers. Do you still have two blazers?
I still have. So all the guitars that I still have are ones that I made in the custom shop. Not all, like the white guitar, and then my friend Glenn has the 540. The only, well, and maybe they've done it since then, but at the time it was the only RG archtop. And then I have an S. Man, I can't remember. I always hated they didn't have names for the guitars. I could remember names, but the numbers and just a couple of letters I don't remember. It's a guitar that didn't come with a tremolo ever, and it was kind of like a PRS, Ibanez version of a PRS.
Called SZ.
SZ, yes. So I had a few SZs, and the only
That's
SZ I still
good.
have. Huh?
Yeah, I mean,
That's all those, man.
little trivia.
Yeah, the only
I'm
SZ
sorry.
I still have is the only SZ ever with a tremolo, because the neck angle had to be changed. So Tack built me, and it's got the one with the super volute on it. It's like you could lay it flat and rest. There's no way you're gonna break the headstock off this guitar. The volute is
You can
huge.
rest it. You can rest it like this, and then you could stand on it, and it won't break.
It's not gonna break. And then
Very cool guitar, though.
Tack, yeah, it's very cool. Tack built that with the VS 100 tremolo on it. So it's the only one, and the only one ever, because the neck angle had to be changed.
Now, doesn't that have a Roland synth on it?
No, now it has it has a Roland pickup on it, because it has a built-in auto-tune guitar system in it. Built into it.
And it's also really thick, like 2-inch thick body, maybe even a little thicker.
It's almost as heavy as this double deck.
Yeah, it's a heavy guitar.
It's a heavy. It's a super thick, and that's another guitar that sounds really good. It's super thick.
But the quilt top on that guitar is to die for. It's amazing.
It's in a very hard to get spot right now. Otherwise, I take it out. But
yeah. So, and you also have another guitar that I've been trying to get from you forever, the 22 fret RG quilt top.
Yeah. That's the last guitar that they custom made for me. Right. I think that was the year when I decided I just wanted to play, like some of my Les Pauls, and Dave helped me find an awesome Les Paul R8.
R8.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to play some of the other guitars I had. So yeah.
And if you want to see some of these guitars, they're on Larry's website, LarryMitchell.com. Some of them. I actually just looked at it the other day. And the RG, let me show you a picture of this RG, which
it's pretty cool.
It's just a gorgeous guitar, and one day it'll be in this house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What pickups are in that one, Larry?
Those are the Mazio 36th anniversaries.
Oh, that's
and I don't
good.
remember what the
Great
middle
sound
is.
of pickups.
The middle one, I believe, is an HS2, maybe an HS2, but it's an Ibanez, normal Ibanez headstock, but it's straight pull. It's not tilted back. So it's
22 frets.
Straight pull like a Joe Satriani headstock. And
So it's probably the pre. What is the new one that they have now? Like Josh Smith has a Telly version, and
The AZs.
The
AZ. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Which is
here
something I tried to get them to make for I don't know how many years.
Right. And here is Larry's main Blazer guitar.
Yeah. That's ash. That's an alder body with it on an ash top. ash top on an older body.
Now, when you first got this guitar, I remember you did not like this guitar. You liked the other one better.
The other one was a maple top on an older body.
And it
older body.
Yes, and it was also a dark sunburst. It was
Dark
black
sunburst.
around
Tobacco
the edges.
burst.
Tobacco
burst. Yeah.
So, Larry, and the other one, the tobacco sunburst one, is not a custom shop guitar, but it was. Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I have. So that's the only two I have. I had another one that wasn't custom shop. That was the regular orange.
That's right. That's right.
And a friend of mine up in he's an English guy, but he lives a lot of the time in either some part of New England. I can't remember where. I still have the original Blazers that they made for me at the custom shop, and they're still great guitars.
So I remember when you first got this one, you didn't like it, and it actually wound up here, and I kind of helped break it in. I played it for a while. I didn't keep it. It wasn't given to me. It was just here.
I think I just left it there.
Yeah. So I played it for a while, and then he was like, "You got that guitar? I need it back." And once I sent it back to him, it became his favorite guitar.
Once Dave dried his eyes from crying for a couple of days.
You know what? Because to me, it was a cool guitar. Believe me, it's a great guitar. But I didn't have a hard-on for it. It wasn't like I had to have that guitar. It was a great guitar. It was one of Larry's, but it was like...
That was a great sound effect after you said hard-on.
So it was cool, but it wasn't like... man, I got to have that guitar. Because at the time, I still didn't... Where is it? Oh, it's here. I still didn't have the black and white guitar. He hadn't given that to me yet. So I was always like, man, if there was any guitar I could have of Larry's, I would love that black and white guitar. I don't think I ever told him that. But he knew I loved it because every time I'd go to his place, I would play that guitar. I would always tell him, man, this is my favorite one. This is my favorite one. Every time that he would be on a gig, and he wasn't using that guitar, it'd be in my hands. After a gig, he'd have to tell me, Dave, you know what? If you're gonna work for me, don't hold my guitars while I'm on the stage. It's just not. God forbid I need it, and it's attitude. Just wait till after the show, whatever. So he knew I loved that guitar, and then eventually it was a gift. But yeah.
But and also so I could play it when I come to New York.
Yeah, well, it's yours here anytime. And if you ever want it back, Larry, fuck off. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's yours. If you ever say, Dave, I'd like to have it back, it's yours. So
it's in a good spot right now.
Yeah,
very good spot.
It's right. It's nothing's gonna happen to it, and it's yours when you want it. But yeah, the guitars of Larry Mitchell. It is so cool.
I do have to say with that Ash Blazer, which became my favorite guitar. When I lived in San Diego, I played a lot of gigs. I was playing a lot. And I took the tobacco, and I remember there was a time where I kept breaking strings on the tobacco one, and so I played the ash body one, and the Honeyburst, and it just kind of, I mean, you definitely broke it in, and I kind of just fell in love with it, playing it in San Diego to the point that I just started playing it all the time, and it was great, absolutely great.
Yeah,
it's much brighter. I had to, just like my maple neck Nags is much brighter than my other two of my model Nags guitars. I had to EQ the rig for that guitar, and then I could play the other guitars and deal with it. But if I EQ the rig for those other guitars, then it's weird to me to play the it should be the other way around, but it isn't. It's weird for me to play that.
So when you first had that guitar, Larry, it had a graphite black nut on it, and you had played it so much that the frets were so worn down. Once you gave that guitar to Larry Fitzgerald to refret and put a bone nut on it, that guitar not only woke up, but it became one of the best guitars I'd ever played. How'd you feel about that? Did you feel the same way?
Larry does amazing work. Yeah, it was great. I think I ended up giving him the tobacco one to do as well, didn't I?
Correct. Yeah. But that guitar, because I remember when you would strum that guitar acoustically, no amp, kind of like sounded. It wasn't alive. It didn't resonate with that graphite nut. But at the minute that bone nut got put on there, that guitar became so alive. It was crazy how good that guitar became.
It opened up.
Yeah. So remember, if you don't have a bone nut on your guitar, put a bone nut on your guitar. It's going to make night and day difference.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
What's the difference between an X2N to the X3N, and was it you that suggested some changes to the X2N, or did they kind of make you a custom one and say, hey, what do you think of this?
The X2 just wasn't loud enough for me back then.
Wasn't the X2N the first?
Output.
The X2N was the first pickup that Steve Blucher developed, right?
Oh, I don't know about that, but
Okay.
I just remember asking Steve, I just need more output. I like the X2N, but I wanted more output.
So
And
basically,
he said,
it's just a hotter pickup, but the same frequencies and EQ, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
And of course, these days I go completely the other way. everything's like, I don't know.
Underwound. Everything's
underwound.
Yeah.
Everything's like 50s, 60s single coil.
You want to hear the sound of the wood of the guitar. You don't want to hear the metal and the electronics. You want to hear the wood.
Except that when I play this guitar, I'm like, what is going on? What's funny is that is my normal lead patch that I play.
Yeah. Well,
that's not
Wow.
That's not let's see. Oops. Yeah, that is not like a heavy patch that I made or anything. That's my normal lead tone that I use, which just doesn't sound anything like that normally.
What that sounds like to me is a boogie quad with a wall of Harkey cabinets. That sounds like that. And it leads me to believe that X2N pickup was a lot of the sound back then.
Could be.
I love it. It's a very, very unique. Like when I listened to those first two records, it's got a very unique tone to it, and I still love it to this day.
Yeah. Actually, I think I did. So on this guitar, the song "In God We Trust" was written on this guitar, and that's because it goes down. It's got the lower. It's in D, but I believe that a lot of the solos I did on that record, the first record, are on this guitar because it just sounded really good. Not all of them. None of the ones that I did when we were mixing the record at Unique. But I think everything, or they might have, because I ended up tripling or doubling some of the solos, or not realizing I was doubling or tripling, but Dave ended up pulling a lot of the solos up together, at the same time. But a lot of them that were done back at RPM Studios were done with this guitar, the solos.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna text Glenn and see if he wants to show that other guitar.
Yeah, if he wants to, just send him that link that I sent you. So on the second record, I remember being in the studio with Larry most of the time, and I believe this is the guitar he used on, I'd say at least 90% of the record.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember if he used that purple one. I don't know if he had it for the record. He may have. He may have had it for the record, but I don't remember. But I remember being in the studio, and I remember you being in the control room playing your parts, and I'm sitting there quiet, and you're just playing with this guitar the whole time. I don't even remember you tuning it. I just remember you just playing song by song.
Tune? Why would I tune before?
Man, because I don't know. What do you do? But this guitar doesn't go out of tune. It just doesn't. It's just one of those guitars that never goes out of tune. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Nice. I personally only tune for Jay's benefit myself, but
Hey, man. If I'm watching the show, you better.
I know, and I'm just like, I feel so bad because I know what it's like to hear an out-of-tune guitar, and it's not as bad for me as I know it is for you. And you tune in at that perfect point where I was already thinking, I got to tune, and then Jay's like, hey, all, and I'm like, he's hating this.
I didn't realize you were talking about that type of tuning.
Well, you get tuned another way, too. That's how you lose guitars for me. I'm just saying.
Uh-huh. So funny. So, all right. So there's those. And then from there, I think that's it, right? That's about it on the Ibanez stuff, right? You have... do you want to talk about the Custom Shop SA guitar that you have? Kind of looks like the Andy Timmons guitar.
Yeah, the second
the
300,
model of Andy. Yeah, the AT300.
I at some point Ibanez stopped making 22 fret guitars, and I start right when I discovered that I loved the 22 fret guitars, and I was playing the Blazers, and of course they discontinued the Blazers. And the problem was, at one point I was going to do quite a bit of things for Ibanez. And it was like, well, what guitar are you going to play? And I said, well, I got to play. Oh, we're not doing the Blazers anymore. All right, I have I don't remember what it was the, because I played the Blazers and then I tried the SZs, and then they discontinued the SZs and went back to the Blazers. I still always play the Blazers, but at public events and stuff like that, they wanted me to play something. No store wants you to come in there playing, even if they're Ibanez dealer, playing an Ibanez guitar that nobody can get.
Right.
No one can order and stuff like that.
Right.
And it got to the point where they didn't want you to bring any custom colors. So I always had like a stock one as well of all the models that I had. So you guys know, when I say I went through 26 years with Ibanez, it was always like, introduce a guitar, here's a stock one. Do you like it? We'll build you a custom shop one. They make me a custom shop one. And then I love the difference between the custom shop one and the stock one was drastic. So they'd make me a second custom shop guitar as a backup. And then I'd hear that they were going to get discontinued, and I would go, all right, so if you end up with about to blow out one of the stock ones, send me another stock one. So I would usually have 4 of a model guitar.
Wow.
Then they would discontinue it, and then we'd start the whole process over again. Or I'd have the custom, they send me the stock one, then I'd have a custom shop one, then a backup custom shop one, and I'd go to do a clinic, and they'd go, oh yeah, you have custom colors, we don't have that color. And so they would send me one of the custom color. They would take it a stock one, and they would try and tweak it as at the custom shop to make it as close to my specs as possible. That's why it was all weird in guitars, and I didn't remember, because after a guitar was discontinued, a lot of times I did not keep the stock ones. I kept the custom shop ones. I did not keep the stock ones after a while. Just moving guitars is a little bit of a craziness.
Mm-hmm.
Larry, what would some of the differences be between the custom shop version and the stock ones? What are some examples of where they were different?
Well, the difference between a Japanese Ibanez guitar and then a Korean-made Ibanez guitar or Chinese-made Ibanez guitar? Like
I don't know.
Oh.
So was it build quality, or was it?
A lot of time was build quality and tack, and the guys there would take their time and select. The Ibanez custom shop is, at least it was, it probably still is, but it was pretty much like a boutique guitar company in West Hollywood. So I think at one point they were making about 150 guitars a year. So they put the time in, like you're building, they're on most of the custom shop guitars are on par with if you want to get the custom shop guitars on par with like Sir and PRS and as far as like the build quality a small boutique builder, because that's what it is. It's a small. It was one builder and 3 other people that when they weren't doing repairs for artist guitars, they were tweaking and doing certain things. And if you got a custom shop guitar, they might have to make the pick guard custom there too, because you couldn't put, or you went to change a pick guard and you got a stock one, it wasn't exactly the same. So, or you can get different woods. It was like a boutique guitar, boutique guitar company.
So no 2 guitars are alike.
No 2 guitars are alike.
And you could have 1,000 production guitars and 5 custom shop guitars, and they would be nothing like the production models. None of them.
Right. I forgot the original question. I'm sorry.
And obviously, the materials, the wood, they're using the pick of the litter, right? As far as wood,
Exactly. Yeah, they would go through and pick out the wood, and you can get the nicest tops and stuff. So I think that they always used to value those guitars at like, I want to say between $3 and $5 grand, as far as the build hours and stuff like that. That's what it would be worth if you were just like if you were going to buy
Makes sense.
A real boutique guitar. It's a really high end guitar.
And so they were designing and building guitars in the custom shop, establishing the model at that point, and then putting it into production. So they were using the custom shop models as templates before they went to production.
Well, the guitars were designed at different places, but a lot of times the custom shop would make the first prototypes.
Okay.
As far as I remember.
Yeah. There was a time where there were times where a production guitar would come out first, and then from there, if an artist wanted a custom shop version of it, they would make it. But most of the time, it was the custom shop building one for the artist approves it, and then it's made in production.
Right.
At least that's the way it is with Steve Vai. So yeah, that's just all cool stuff. Really cool stuff.
A very cool musical journey in many ways. So I'm thinking to myself, like, if Larry wants to be greedy and he targets a guitar, he's like, I want those. I don't care if it's going to be out of production in 2 years, but I'm gonna need 4 of these eventually. So
I remember with the custom shop RG, the last one that was built for you. I remember you being here, and the 2 of us kind of like brainstorming how you want it built. You were telling me that it was going to get built for you, and I remember telling you where the jack should be, like on a gem, so that you can't step on it and it pull out. And I remember saying you should try to get them to make you a 22 fret one.
Well, that was the whole point. I wanted a 22 fret. And I never wanted a 22 fret RG. I just wanted a 22 fret guitar. And the point was they weren't going to make a Blazer or anything like that. So they decided, and I wanted a real body, like a thick body.
Yeah.
And so they said, what about an RG? We'll make you a 22 fret non-locking tremolo with Spurzels and, pretty much all the guitars I had from them from up until the SVs from 97, I believe, to the end would have a Wilkinson tremolo and Spurzel tuners, and they were some form of super strat. And like I said, they just didn't last long. They would just discontinue them.
Man, it's crazy.
So I hope this current model guitars, the what are they again?
AZs.
AZs.
I hope that they last. I think
some of
it's
them
a
are
great
really
guitar.
good.
Yeah,
Some of them
it's a
are
great
really good.
guitar.
I've played a couple of them that were really good. I played a couple of them that were okay, but the Japanese ones in general are really good.
No doubt. I've played a couple of them. I actually was in Germany once, and I had to do a little promo video, and so I just picked one of those off the wall to play because I didn't have a guitar with me. But And I was like, wow, this is great right off the wall. It was, I don't know which model, which one it was, where it was made, but it was really good. And it's a great idea. That's
And
something
all
I've
the
been plugging
pickup
in to make for a good 10, 15 years.
all the pickup configurations in that guitar too, really good. Everything sounds good. You can be Larry Mitchell with the pickup configurations in it. Cool. It's easy to have those sounds. The in between clean sounds and they're good guitars.
Cool.
But yeah, man, that's great. I'm so glad we got to talk about these guitars. If anyone has any questions about these guitars that we didn't go over, please ask away. We'll be happy to answer them. Maybe we can talk about some of Larry's other guitars at some other point when he comes back from the road. You're going on the road this week, correct?
I am. I have real shows,
Yay!
like in front of people, which is so bizarre. What a strange thing.
Big concept.
Where are you heading, Larry?
I'm going to Dallas, Texas, for the Dallas Guitar Festival.
Cool.
Next week, I'm playing. It starts next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'm playing on Saturday at noon if you're down there. And then the rest of the time I'll be at the G-Brats guitar booth. They'll have an awesome wall of Nags guitars there.
Cool.
And
Nice.
I don't know if they're going to have any of my models. I think Scott, every time they ordered one of my models, it lasted for less than a day or two. Somebody would buy them.
That's awesome.
Well, I followed the Nagsters page, and your model doesn't hang around long. I mean, it's hours. Somebody can post a model that they just got, and it's gone.
Yeah,
It's pretty amazing.
It's cool. I wish that. It's cool. Very cool. So I'm playing there, and then from there I'm going to East Texas, and I'll be in Longview and Marshall, Texas. I usually do some lessons while I'm out there, and then I have one confirmed show at the Rugenbach in Marshall, Texas, and there's it might have been confirmed while I'm on the phone. While I'm on the show here, there might be a special acoustic / wine tasting dinner thing at another place that's really small. And then I will be in Sheridan, Wyoming, at the YO Theater. It's a theater show. I'm headlining, and this band called the Rolling Sevens are opening up, and I'm playing with both at that show. I'm playing with a bass player, drummer, and keyboard player that I play with whenever I go to Sheridan, Wyoming, and then in Dallas, I'm playing with a trio. I'm playing with the bass player and drummer, and then from there I have I go back to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have like a kind of a private event there, and then I'm going to Springdale, Arkansas, and playing at the Natural State Rock memory is gone. Natural State Rock something in Springdale, and let's see if I could find it. And then the next day I'll be in Neosho, Missouri, and I'm doing a guitar clinic at 1:00 at I got devices now. That's not. No.
The memory's the second thing to go, Larry.
No. Definitely the memory's the first thing to go right now. The clinic is, I missed one. I'm sorry. Let's go back. After the YO Theater, the YO Theater is on May 14th. In Loveland, Colorado, I'm doing a guitar clinic at Black and Blues Music and Brews, and that's in Loveland. And then and then I'll go to Springdale, Arkansas, and do a show at Natural.
You okay, Jay?
Yeah, I dropped Larry's CD.
Oh, you're just relicking it?
What?
Yeah, it's relicking.
Just giving it a relic job real quick?
Did you feel that, Larry? I dropped you.
I don't know where. I don't. Oh, if I open my video program, I know where it is.
And thanks, Terry, for posting links in the chat for Jay's band and Larry's stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, Terry. That's very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is very cool. Thank you so much.
And sorry, you're still going.
And I don't have the show. I don't know. I'm playing it in Springdale. I believe it's not a huge town, so if you see anybody with a cowboy hat on, carrying a guitar, that's probably me. Follow me, and that's where I'll be playing. And then in Neo Show, Missouri, the next day, the 22nd, there's a guitar clinic at a store that I still can't figure out what the name is because I'm just bad like that right now. And then where is it? Maybe it's here. And then that night I'll be at the Northwoods Arts and Event Center, and that's a Neo Show. Wait. Adobe Spark. Nope. All right, who made that small? Who? Natural State Rockin' Republic in Springdale, Arkansas. And then I don't have the name of the guitar clinic in Neo Show, but I will. It'll be on my website soon.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's cool. Hey, you guys want to talk about some music that I played on back in the mid '90s?
Sure.
Well, if any of you remember a TV show called Baywatch, me and a good buddy of mine were writing songs for that show. And we wrote some songs that I have here that actually didn't make the show, but Ted Poley from Danger Danger is singing on them, and a couple of other artists. And I thought maybe if you'd like to hear some of those songs, would you like to hear something?
Yes. Love to hear Dave rocking out. Well,
the first song is called See the Light. And again, it's my friend Todd Kopetic. He's pre-programmed all the drums, the bass. He's playing all the piano. I'm playing all the guitars. Ted Poley from Danger Danger singing. So here it is.
Earn free crypto just by
no, that's not it.
Coinbase Earn is the fast, easy, and
hang on.
rewarding way to
You can just call me Phil Cullen. Little Billy Squire.
Did you sing any backup vocals, or was that?
No, that's all Ted. Oop, what happened? Sorry, guys. Hang on.
That's like big time copyright right there.
Here comes the big Def Leppard solo.
Yeah.
So that's one of them. That's thank you.
Very nice.
I remember when you did that solo, Dave.
Thank you. Yeah, I had fun doing this stuff, and like I said, it was supposed to be for
Boob watch.
Baywatch, and I don't know why these songs didn't make it, because they would be for the montage scenes.
Oh,
You know, when someone's running in slow motion or on whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
But you know what sucks though? I bet. Oh, geez, I'm gonna ruin your guitar, Larry. I bet that the songs they chose instead of those ones, I bet they were shit. I bet that the ones they chose were not as good as those ones. You know.
well, thank you.
I
And
think you need to send that one over to Eddie Trunk because that needs to be on Hair Nation, Dave.
well, thank you.
It's
Well, there's
great.
others, and I think this one is Jay's favorite song, because it's got his friend JP singing on it.
No. Well, we weren't really friends. I played Little League with him and went to school with him.
Okay, so you weren't really friends, but it's someone that Jay knows.
Yes, it was very weird to see that, by the way.
And the solo on this song, I remember it was a longer solo when I played it, but I guess they comped what they needed out of it, which is still good because the solo is still pretty damn good. But it was you can hear that it was comped, which I don't like, but it's a good song. So here it is. It's called "I Don't Believe."
Traffic calls and you're late for your first day. You make a meeting but you're not up on your game. The clock is ticking, getting slower all the time. You count the hours and repeat it inside your mind. I don't believe in the corporate stance, and I don't believe in giving half a chance. I don't believe in anything anymore.
I like that part.
We're all tuning in to see
Yeah, my sister nailed it. Definitely a pure shot. I can hear the gulls now.
Ringing out for all of us to hear the sounds of tragedy echoing in our fears. And I don't believe the GOP gives a damn. And I don't believe they really understand. And I don't believe anymore. And I don't know. And I don't care what you're selling on my TV screen tonight. I don't believe what you're selling I don't believe what you're fighting for. And I don't believe in someone else's war. No, I don't believe. I don't believe. No, I don't believe. I don't believe. I don't believe. I don't believe in someone else's war.
That's the hit right there, man.
Oh, well,
And
thanks.
even the lyrical content, I don't know who wrote the lyrics,
Probably Todd.
but
Probably.
I mean that when you listen to that song even nowadays, I mean you said that was what, in the mid 90s?
Yeah.
I mean that almost means more now or can be applied more now than it did back then, man.
I believe that's why, I had forgotten about these songs for a long time. And my buddy Todd put that song on my timeline on Facebook last week. And I listened to it and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I haven't heard these songs in close to 30 years. I forgot I even played on them. And then I was like, wait, that's me. That's me. You can tell when you're playing on something, you can tell.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, what? Yeah, that is me. And then I was like, wait a second, there's more songs than that. I know there's more songs. So I noticed that he has a YouTube channel. So first of all, I called him and we spoke about it. I'm like, thank you so much. That meant so much. He was like, the rest of them are on my YouTube channel, or at least a couple of them are. You should check them out. So I did, and I remembered the songs. And boy, back then I could play. I was like, wow, I haven't been able to.
Sounded great.
Thank you. It was so much fun. I remember when we did these songs and I did my tracks. He was young. He was in his late 20s. Back then, that's young. And he was living in his grandmother's basement. And he had a full-on studio in his basement. He had this partition, a bedroom, and then partition where the studio was. I don't remember what board he had, but it was a big board. The best Pro Tools stuff you could do, you could have. He had everything, ADATs, everything it was ridiculous. And he called me down. He played all the parts, and he could play guitar. He was a great guitar player. But he chose to call me. He was like, Dave, you've been part of my life. You taught me how to play guitar. If it wasn't for you, I'd have none of this. I'd like you to play the guitar in these parts.
That's cool.
But you can do this. He says, quite frankly, you can do this.
You can do it.
So I said, sure. And I did these songs. And the next song, which is the last song of the 3 that I'm going to play, but the next song was the first one that I recorded. And I went down there, had no idea what I was going to play, had never heard the song before. He said, bring an acoustic guitar and bring an electric guitar, and I'll produce you through it, and we'll just take it as you listen to it once, and then just play along with it. And that's what I did, really. So the next song is called "Believe in Your Heart." This is also with Ted Poley from Danger Danger singing. It's a ballad. And it's just another one of those great songs. And for the guitar solo on this, I had an old Martin OM21, and I played the solo on a Martin.
Ooh, nice.
With really heavy strings that very hard to bend. And I will say this one thing that Ted Poley said to me that was the best thing, the nicest thing he could ever have said. I said to him, so Ted, why are you having me play these songs when you could easily have Andy Timmons play this stuff? And he said, Dave, if I wanted a song to have Andy Timmons on it, I would have Andy Timmons on it. You're the better guy for this. And I was floored. So here's Believe in Your Heart.
Dip cocoa powder into water and it will come out completely
Shush.
dry. Dip it again and it might...
Let's hope we get paid for that.
Gotta listen close to hear the sound of a breaking heart. We lived in color, now I dream in black and white. Your memory fades like the sheet on a photograph. I tell myself it's gonna be alright. Like a ray of hope coming in through my window, you came to me, and I won't let you go.
Big chorus.
Believe in your heart, it's easy to do. When all's said and done, I'll be there for you. My life feels so empty when we're apart. I'm here for you, baby. Believe in your hindsight can be 20/20. Looking back now, it all seems so clear. All along, I felt like I was drowning, like a wilted flower in a river of tears, like a ray of hope coming in through my window. You came to me, and I won't let you go. Believe in your heart, it's easy to do. When all's said and done, I'll be there for you. My life feels so empty when we're apart. I'm here for you, baby. Believe in your. Sometimes it seems so never-ending, so stop pretending. 'Cause baby, when the storm is through, the one who bends is gonna be left standing. I believe in you. Please believe in me. Like a ray of hope coming in through my window.
Dang.
Way to go, Dave.
Thank you. Well, those, like I said, it's 30 years now at least, and man, I can't believe that's me. Just can't believe it. It was so much fun, just reminiscing and talking to my buddy about it, and it was just it brought back. We hadn't spoken to each other in probably a good 3 or 4 years. He moved down to North Carolina, and we both went about life. And those songs just brought us back. Called him up. I still had his number. Called him up, and it was like, oh, my God. It's great to talk to him.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, very cool. And that solo, Dave, I can hear a few little tricky pits there. I'm like, wow, you're getting up there on the neck, and there's not a lot of room up there.
Now, who does that solo remind you of playing-wise? Anybody?
The acoustic solo?
Yes. It's nobody in the chat here. Nobody in the room. Nobody? Nobody.
I don't know.
Richie Sambora a bit. Does it sound a little Richie-like?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Michael saying Clapton.
I was thinking a bit of Slash with the descending runs in there. The way when Slash does acoustic stuff, traditional.
Oh, maybe, yeah, that could be
some
too.
of that descending stuff, like
I was told to think of Richie Sambora playing an acoustic, and that's what I came up with. So that's why.
Very much. That was great.
Yeah,
that's on there. That had soundtrack sound all over it. I'm like, Kenny Loggins, who?
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I look forward to the day when I can do more sessions. I want to be able to do more sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I can get these 2 fingers healed.
Well, Dave, on the next Gizmachi record, I'll have you do a solo with me instead of Larry this time.
Oh yeah, right. Sure. I'll be the guy that just does this.
What do you need done in the world of palm muting?
I'll just do that one bend, that bend that lasts forever. Like,
Steve
what's
Lukather.
that? Oh, yeah.
Hey, good call, Laz, too. Yeah, a bit of a Bryan Adams feel to that song, too.
Yeah, I
could hear
thought the
that.
same thing. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
I thought it was an interesting choice sonically to choose an acoustic solo, with the overdriven guitars in the background.
That
it's
wasn't
usually
my choice. Yeah,
usually vice versa. It's usually a different.
That's the era of the power ballad, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely was not my choice. I remember playing a Clapton Strat on that. I believe it was a Clapton Strat. It was either a Clapton Strat or a Les Paul, because I remember playing the power chords, and either it was the Clapton Strat with the boost on, so it was really big, or it was a Les Paul. But I remember on it was either that song or the second song that I played, not See the Light. That I played the Clapton Strat, and then on See the Light, I remember that rhythm guitar was a Telecaster, and that was also back when Richie Sambora's second record came out, and he played a 52 Telecaster, a real one. He had just gotten his first one, so he played it on every track and every solo on that record. There was not, unless he used an acoustic guitar, it was that 52 Tele. So I remember Todd saying, make sure you play a Tele on that song. And it just goes to prove that if you're a session player, if you don't have the right tools, you're not getting hired again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, play a Tele. I don't have a Tele. Well, you're not getting hired. You got to have these things. If you're going to be a session player, if you're going to do any type of sessions, make sure you have what you need. You can't just do it with one instrument. Unless it's your own record and you can do whatever you want on your own record.
Then you play a double neck with a D neck on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Telly's. There's a Telly on almost every record I've ever produced.
That's right. Telly fits on any song. There's always room for a Telecaster on any song in any type of music.
Michael says he plays nothing but tellies.
Very
I
cool.
like Michael.
Telly Savalas?
Telly Carver. By the way, Michael Carver. Michael, thank you so much for all of the comments on all. You've been watching all the shows lately, and I really appreciate all your comments. They mean a lot. And if I haven't gotten back to you on some of them, I will.
Let's get back to him right now. Thanks for leaving those comments.
There's Rob from Tessie Switch.
Tessie
Hey,
Switch,
Rob.
man.
Yeah. Hey, Rob.
Every time he comes in,
code NEZ SEZ and save 15%. Had to think about it.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Side question. Did that guy buy my 16 space Shockmont rack?
Who's that?
Where you did your sessions?
Yeah, you know what? I think he did. Yeah, you know what? You're right. Todd did.
Yeah,
That's
it's my
right.
16
That's
space
where it
Shockmont
went.
Rack.
I wonder if he still has that. Do you want it back?
Yeah, it's great for those fly-in gigs.
I think he
I went
did.
back with a 20-year-old back replacement.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe you remembered that because I didn't remember that until just this minute. Because I remember we brought it to him. Yeah.
World of small
Crazy.
world.
That's crazy.
Great stuff.
Wow. Very cool. Anyway, I think that's all we got. Anything else today, guys? Anything else?
Well,
Todd, you got anything
Daniel.
else?
Well, yeah, Daniel says, "Hey, Larry, can you talk a little bit about your nags?"
What would you like to know? They're great guitars. Absolutely great guitars. My model has Mazda Area 67s in it, in the neck and the neck in the middle position, and then Satch track in the bridge position. And it was Steve Blucher who suggested the Satch track. It wasn't my call, but it worked perfectly. I had actually not even tried one before, but I described the guitar to him, and Steve is the man. Steve knows. He goes, "This will work," and you listen to him, and it works.
And the genius part of it is it's a neck pickup that's in the bridge position.
Well, and I mean, I think those guys at DeMarzio are good at doing things like that. You know, Andy plays with three. You know, he's got a cruiser in the neck in the middle. You know, and the AT1 in the back, and I think his single coils, all three of them are cruisers, right?
Yes. And now he also has an AZ that has his normal pickup configuration of humbucker and two singles.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that guitar, man.
Man,
Good
that black
Lord.
has kind of turned green. Did you notice that?
Green? No.
It's in that light there. It looks like it looks green.
It does look
There's a
green
lot-
there.
There's a lot of blue light in this studio. I have the green one. It's got this cool neck joint right here.
Love that neck joint.
It's kind of based off, I think Joe's 63 or 64 Strat. I think it's a 63 Strat. But it's more like all the things he would do to kind of make an old Strat be great today.
And you've been playing that enough. I see you starting to wear through the pick guard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I play it all the time.
Yep.
That's
I'm pretty-
amazing.
I'm not the lightest. Dave will tell you I'm not the lightest person on guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you use them as tools. They're not, you're not there to baby them. They're there to work for you.
They don't stay new looking long. If the ones that stay new looking long, I'm not playing out a lot. I'm not taking it on the road.
And that one's become your main guitar, right?
Yes.
The brown one was.
Yeah, and then I asked Joe. I asked for this one because of the maple fretboard, because I was going to Germany and Italy a lot, and I'd gone to Russia and I was coming back, and you couldn't take rosewood, any kind of rosewood, in and out without dealing with some issues. And at first I was like, all right, I'm just gonna leave this in Germany. And then I got it, started playing. I was like, yeah, I'm not leaving this anywhere. It became my main guitar.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Of course,
It's a
Rob
beauty.
needs a kill switch. Of course, Rob thinks that.
A hot pink one.
A kill switch. I don't know where he put a kill switch on it.
Well,
I have a green one that has a switch that could be a kill switch.
Well, you have you have 2 tones in a volume, right?
Yes.
What you can do is the bottom tone, you can make that as your master tone, take the middle knob out and put the kill switch there.
Or vice versa.
If you wanted to.
Might be better for the green guitar.
It could be. You've been using that guitar a lot lately too, the green one.
Yes, I had broken the switch on it, and I got it fixed, and I started playing again. I was like, oh yeah. Let me grab that. Hold on. I'll be right back.
So Larry Mitchell's guitars, man, that's just his stuff is it's iconic. It's all iconic stuff. And
Amazing stuff.
it's great to have him up here explaining them and talking about them. And the guitar that Jay has in his hands is just what a wonderful guitar. It brings back so many memories. I remember getting yelled at one time because of that guitar. I think it was a gig that Larry had in Jersey, and he brought 2 guitars with him. That one, and I don't remember, it might have been this one or it might have been something else. And the 5-way switch on that guitar was broken, and I didn't have a soldering gun with me, so he was like, they found a soldering gun, and he says, I need you to fix this because I'm using it tonight. Like 10 minutes before the show, I opened the back up, and it's a switch I had never seen before in my life. Not a regular 5-way switch. It was all crazy looking.
Huh.
Like, Larry, I don't know how to fix this guitar. Didn't know how to do it. I'd never seen that switch before. I didn't have a meter to see where the leads went, how it went. I had no idea. And I said, I hope you don't break your other guitar, Larry, because I can't fix this one. And that's when he yelled at me. He was like, don't ever do that to me again. You don't stress out the artist. There's ways to go
Dave,
about
you're making it sound like I was this mean guy.
You weren't. Well, when I say yelled at me, you set me straight. That's what I mean. You didn't yell at me because you never yelled at me in your life. Because
until now.
I was going to say, did he not yell at you after you ran him over with a car?
No.
Well,
he more or less kind of like laughed, but he was like, I can't believe you ran me over. It was like one of those, but laughing.
I was still in shock.
Yeah, I know. But you still got back in the car with me. Anyway, it's
safest spot to be is in the car with Dave.
That's right.
Wow.
Not outside the car, not in front or behind.
So anyway, that purple guitar is the guitar that Larry set me straight on how to treat an artist and make sure that he's comfortable even when things are going bad.
Sure.
Oh, so let me get you back on there, Larry.
This is green.
Yes, it
And
is.
this has a switch because it's taped up right now, but it has a 13 pin. Has a 13 pin and a piezo out, and then the electric out. So it has the switch. This would be the guitar to put a kill switch on too.
Yep.
Beautiful.
It sure is.
You know what I like is that the pick art is slightly
is.
The pick art is slightly different on this one, and the knobs are in a slightly different place on this one than they are on the other one.
Yeah, because of the hollow body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool. That really sounds cool. Wait, is the back of that headstock black? Does that have a stinger on it? Wow. That's cool.
That is cool.
That is awesome.
I'd never seen that before. And a little Kermit.
Everybody needs a little Kermit. And this is the first guitar, the first snags of my model that I. Oops. There we go.
Yeah, I love that guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is it in tune? See, those guitars, they just don't go out of tune. So I got to tell you, that guitar sounds way different than the black one with the maple neck. And the difference is that rosewood fretboard, that it just, I really love the way this guitar sounds.
Still amazes me when people say that, the guitar wood does not matter. It's like, don't you have ears?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I'm
It
glad you're
matters.
going to...
It matters, especially if it's one's plastic and one's wood. I should have warmed
Now,
up.
call me crazy, but that guitar sounds like a 50s guitar, and the other guitar sounds more like a 60s guitar. Now,
I'm
I
in
know
my
they're
50s,
not,
Dave.
I know they're not regular Fender Strats, but you can definitely hear the difference between maple and rosewood. The rosewood is a bit thicker sounding, a bit warmer sounding, and the maple is a bit brighter sounding. And it's just the way it would be with a 50s and 60s Strat. So
The only difference is the neck wood, too.
oh yeah, that they're both mahogany, yes?
No, alder.
Oh, they're older. Wow.
Should have warmed up. Yeah, the only difference is the maple fretboard.
Wow. That's pretty incredible, Larry. There's a definite sweetness to that guitar. The other one is a little more mean sounding. This one is sweeter sounding. It's very
Yeah,
cool.
I love the snappiness of the maple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hear your comments on the warmth and everything of the rosewood, I like that snappy maple.
Well, listen, that's what makes the game of baseball.
Yep.
And I like it too. That's why when I buy a guitar, if it comes in a maple neck and a rosewood neck, I make sure I get one of each.
That's a
Nothing wrong
good
with that,
philosophy,
Dave.
Dave.
That's just the way I did. I mean, I had to have two Strats. I had to have a maple neck and a rosewood neck Strat. It's same thing up there. See those Kramers? Rosewood and maple. They're exactly the same guitar. Those blue ones, same guitar. One maple neck, one rosewood neck.
So for you guitar companies out there, when you're making a model, have the option to go rosewood or maple. So guys like Dave can
You get both.
buy two instead of one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies don't do that. They
I
won't
know.
even consider it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Very nice. All right. Well, I have one last question tonight since it's been an Ibanez love fest tonight. You know, we've got two guys on here that at one time or another have been Ibanez artists. Mm-hmm. So maybe between the two of you, you can answer this. What is the plural of Ibanez? Is it Ibanez SEZ? Ibanez? What is it? Because I always see they just throw guitars on the end, and then they pluralize guitars. So it's always Ibanez guitars.
Let's see. If somebody were to ask me how many Ibanez do you have, I think it's just Ibanez, right?
No, I think it's Ibanez's.
Well, technically, it's Ibanez.
How many Ibanez's? Right. How many Ibanez's do you have?
That just sounds wrong, right?
Michael says Ibani. I agree with Jay. That's how I would say it.
Yeah. I wish I had
just Ibanez.
I wish I had 50 Ibanez.
How many Ibanez do you have?
No, you don't.
That was that's all I got. You asked me to prep for the show, Dave. That's what I came up with.
Yeah, you and Ty don't get paid tonight.
Ben is on a roll tonight,
Jesus.
man. Ben is in rare.
Well, I blame certain lifestyle choices. That's all.
Amanda's in the chat too. She's feeling pretty funny.
That's just hilarious. Ben, you definitely take the cake for the funny. You're just the comic relief here.
That's what I'm here for. Comic relief. That's it. God knows it's not my technical abilities. So.
Oh God. Well,
that sounds beautiful.
It sounds like
it sure does.
It sounds like sunset to me.
It's making me want to just lay down on my back, put my head back, and just think about my life choices.
It's making me think I gotta find a patch like that. You want
to lay on the bed in the fetal position with your hands between your legs?
What did I do?
Oh my goodness, this is going downhill fast.
That's an inspiring guitar tune right there, Larry.
It really is.
It's tones like that got me into modeling stuff. I blame Larry for that. I was strictly analog stomp boxes. Then I met Larry Mitchell, and next thing you know, I'm working with virtual this and virtual that, and I get it. It makes sense. Show up at a jam, I can just show up with a box of toys.
I don't know what you guys mean. I pretty much play a guitar straight into an amp. My favorite sound's a Tele into a JC120. Cranked.
Of course, cranked, of course.
11.
No pedals. No, none of that reverb and delay stuff.
No.
Actually, see, all you're hearing right now is Larry's fingers. That's all that extra.
All the hands.
All the fingers right there.
He's actually playing through this right now. It's coming through this speaker. This is what Larry's endorsed by.
That's Larry's patch cable in that amp right now. It's a long patch cable.
It's very long. Yes, Larry's patch cable is very long.
I've heard that.
And Larry is so generous with his time that every Tuesday night you can tune into Facebook and hear things like Larry just play on Facebook Live.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, Tuesday night and Sunday night. Tuesday night is his Tuesday night Facebook Live, and Sunday night is called It Happened on a Sunday. And you can catch him at around 9 o'clock those two nights.
Yes, because at 8:59, usually the computer shuts down.
Well, speaking of Larry's Sunday night show, I gotta show this picture. So April 4th, I was sitting on the couch and I had my little 1-year-old Killian out, and I had Larry on the TV, and he was just watching. And Larry, you're going to end up inspiring 2 generations to play guitar. Cool. I'm telling you.
That's so cool, man.
Well, it looks like he's already inspiring them in the zebra shirt.
Yeah, right. You got the
Nice.
So, you know,
Love it.
yeah. It was really neat. Just watching him just stand at the thing and just watching him play. I was like, I got to take a picture and send it to Larry.
That's cool.
Thank you.
That's
Yes,
really cool.
I remember getting that.
Yep.
All right, cool. So, all right, guys, what do you think? It's 10:30. What do you say we say goodnight to everyone? And
Good night, everyone.
Jay and
It's a
Larry,
good time.
thank you so
Yep.
much for coming on tonight. Larry, thank you
Yes.
for sharing with us all of the guitar, Ibanez guitar memory lane with all the Ibanez guitars. And Jay, congratulations on getting that guitar. That's an awesome guitar.
Yeah.
It's got the mojo.
It really does. Ty and Ben, thank you again. Always, you guys.
Pleasure.
You guys are both my rocks, and my rocks.
Well, no, Ty rocks, I roll. That's how it works.
All right, okay.
We've got it worked out.
All right. Well,
There was a
you
meeting.
you guys are absolutely amazing. So next week, Lars Guitars. I have not forgotten Lars Guitars, and we want 2 or 3 more guys.
Well, I just hit up Chad. Boner Jams has got that new 7.
Yeah. So all right. So Boner Jams, Chad, and Lars Guitars.
Kurt's got guitars. I mean,
That's
all
right.
these cats in here have guitars. Laz, I know you got guitars, man.
Hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and let me know that you want to be on next Wednesday with us. And
Well, that's not going to happen with Boner Jams because we're going dick to dick with you.
Oh, you guys are on. You guys are on next
Okay.
Wednesday night.
I wasn't going to mention it, but I had to say.
You have
it.
no. You have to. I mean, it's and we would ask you to tell us what's going on anyway, so that's fine. So we're not going to say who to check out, but
Well, I
If you
am,
get-
because I'm going
if-
to be on Laz's channel tomorrow night at
Well, if you
9:30 Eastern.
there
Oh,
you go.
cool. All right. So what is that, Ben?
Yeah, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on Music Therapy Laz's channel tomorrow night. He's having me
Cool.
on. I don't know what we're talking about. Probably we're going to
And-
talk about SE switches, probably.
Awesome. And Jay, you're doing your metal show next Wednesday.
Metal!
Give it a plug.
But
On Johnny Bean TV, we're doing a metal show every
Cool.
last Wednesday of the month. So that's the thing; it's not really competing because we're doing metal.
man.
So
It's all good. It's all
yeah,
good.
absolutely. There's no competition anyway. There's plenty of room for all of us doing this stuff. So,
Damn straight.
and if you don't catch us live, you can catch us on the rerun. If you don't catch Jay live, you can catch him on the rerun.
right.
They're always going to be on YouTube. You can always watch it.
But catch Larry Mitchell live. He's starting to go out into these states that are opening up. Go catch Larry Mitchell. I'd love to see Larry in a clinic environment. That'd be awesome.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's so much fun because, and I'm going to say this for Larry because I've watched him in a clinic, and his house parties, which are also clinics, and they are so much fun. I'm not going to tell you what goes on because you have to watch. Oh, let's see what this is. Oh, here we go, and it's sunset.
Ooh,
Well, maybe not sunset, but it's nice.
close enough. Yeah.
That looks beautiful. Very nice.
That's cool. So, if you can check Larry Mitchell out in a clinic setting, I suggest going. It is always a great time. He's got fantastic stories.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he plays pretty damn good.
Yes, he does.
Thank you.
Doesn't even need to tune. Nice.
This is cool. I can sit here and just veg.
Makes me want to plug in. That sounds great.
Hey, Kurt's in, Dave.
Cool.
I'm sorry?
Kurt said he'll jump in.
Oh, very cool. Okay. So just hit me up on Facebook Messenger so I can send you the link next week, and we'll do it.
Thank you, Guitar Man 45. Good to see you, my man.
Yeah. 50 people watching us at the moment. Thank you so much. If you haven't given us a thumbs up, please do. Hit the like and subscribe button on the channel, please, if you haven't already done so. And if you have any friends that you might think might like this type of content, please let them know and have them subscribe as well.
Even your friends that don't like us, have them subscribe too. I'm just here to make Ty laugh. That's it.
Good to see you, Terry, Thomas.
Lenny Lou jumping in at the end there. Nice.
Lenny Lou, good to see all of you guys.
Hey, Lenny Lou sent. I got a package today from Lenny Lou. I'm going to be doing an unboxing on Friday.
Nice.
And I know what it is, but I'm going to keep the surprise. It was a very generous gift that she sent me.
Cool.
It's been something, a piece of gear that I've been looking for a while now.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's really cool and very generous of her to send me that. So
that's awesome.
Friday night I'll be opening that.
Very cool. Larry, do you have anything else you want to plug real quick?
No, just those shows are coming up. I can't remember what they are, but they're coming up. I know I'll be in Dallas next week, in Marshall, Texas, Sheridan, Wyoming,
Colorado,
Loveland, Colorado,
New Mexico,
Springdale, Arkansas, and Neosho, Missouri.
Nice.
And that's it for the year, I think.
Oh, well.
All happening in 1 month.
Wow. Condensed.
And one more thing, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to hear Larry and I play on the same track together,
yes.
From the latest Gizmachi album, there's a song called Look What I've Become. And there's kind of an old school type of I don't want to say guitar battle, but when the solo section comes, Larry goes, then I go, then Larry goes, then I go. And then Larry plays the outro kind of shred lead part. And again, that was one of those things too, that was a very cool thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it before, it's one of those bucket list things that you don't put on your bucket list because you don't think it'll happen. So it was awesome.
I agree. As an outside that, Jay, I was so happy when I heard that because I know how much you love Larry and I know how great Larry is, and Larry loves you too, I think. He tolerates you really well on camera. I don't know, but yeah, when you said that, it's like, yeah, me and Larry, I was just like, what? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
So I have to show one last thing, and I have to give a big thanks to Jody Head Straps. So this came in the mail for me today, and this is going on the guitar that I got from Jay, the purple
wow.
JS guitar.
Oh wow, look at that, man. Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you. The strap she got the fabric. I showed her the guitar last week, and she said, I'm going to get some fabric, and the next thing I knew, she sent me a picture of the fabric, and this came in the mail today.
Holy cow.
That's so badass. I love it.
It's pretty fabulous.
Jody's great.
Jody Head Straps. Go check her out. Go buy one of her straps. She is not only the most talented, what she does is amazing. She is a super nice person to deal with.
That's
check
really
her
cool.
out and go buy some straps.
Mm-hmm.
When you put that on, you got to send me a picture, Dave.
I certainly will.
Of the guitar, not you. Yeah.
He's wearing the guitar, that strap, and nothing else, Jay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, I'll smile.
pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Very
All right,
cool.
guys and girls. I think we're out of here. Everyone in the chat, everyone in the panel, stick around for a couple minutes after here, and we'll say goodbye off camera.
Thank you, everyone. Good to see you all. Have a great week.
Yeah, everyone,
Cheers,
take it easy. Larry, Awesome stuff. Jay,
Thank you guys.
great guitar. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.